What's happening? What's going on, YouTube? Welcome in, family. It's me, Trap Vision 3D, man. Welcome to the lifestyle. So, if you guys saw the thumbnail, let me explain. Let me give you backstory to this watch before we talk about it. Now, Hamilton has been a part of the military or been entwined with the military as far back as World War One. In World War Two, during that campaign, they I believe it was somewhere around 10 million watches were issued out from Hamilton Watch Company, and these soldiers trusted this watch. You know, the hacking and the hand winding and everything that goes along with it. But one thing I can tell you, by me being prior service, when it comes to the gear that you wear, that you carry into battle, it's extremely important. Everything, your knife, your pins, everything that you're going to take with you is important. It's a part of who you are, right? And if you guys are listening to the noise, there's actually some little kids getting ready for a soccer game, if you can see the people walking in the back. But nonetheless, everything that you have on your person is essential. It's crucial to everything. Your watches, your glasses, even if you were lucky enough to receive those Oakley Kevlar gloves, everything is essential, and this watch is no different. So the thing about Hamilton is, for me, I've seen the reviews, and there's numbered. I can point you to a dozen reviewers of the Hamilton Khaki. But there's one thing that they couldn't provide for me is what I knew already before there was a YouTube, before before this social media buzz. I knew that Hamilton graced the wrist of some of the greatest soldiers, period. You know, it's the people that I looked up to. And this is where my story begins with this piece. So I will get into what I think of the watch, the particular model I have, and the overall. So let's go back to 2007. 2007, I was just promoted to an E5, and prior to me receiving my promotion, I was told that I had to go to Iraq. We were going to Mosul, Iraq, and they told me what the mission was. And of course, you got to prepare and get ready and do all this other stuff, get your affairs in order, and then you go do your thing. So trained, and my watches of choice. I trained in Armatron. I deployed with my Casio G-Shock. It got destroyed, and then my G-Shock got destroyed. Then I sent for another one, and it malfunctioned. I was upset, but I got another Casio, which I'll show you guys at a later date. What Casio? I actually have to change the battery in it. But in Iraq, there were, the best I can tell you, there's soldiers that you depend on for your day-to-day, man, your security, the friendship, the camaraderie. There's a lot of stuff that you depend on these guys and gals for. There's some commanders that are just hard charging, and you will go into fire with these cats. And then there's some that you're like, oh my gosh, we gonna die. But needless to say, the watches, before I even knew what the term enabling was, there was an influence. They didn't have to speak it. There were upper enlisted, higher up on the food chain, sergeant majors that had Hamiltons. There was commanders, and there was one in particular that I respect even to this very day, had a Hamilton. Phil Khaki. I mean, it was a beautiful watch. I loved it. And we went into battle. That watch got dirty, muddied up, beat up, still, and I'm pretty sure he still has it. So, at one point, I knew I was going to get one. I said, I get it. But, stuff happens to where you get you get attracted to other stuff, and it kind of gets pushed to the side. But needless to say, here we are, and I purchased my very first Hamilton Khaki. And this particular watch is the same design that they used in World War II. It's just actually bigger. It's a 42 millimeter. So here, let's flip the camera around so I can show you. Okay, family. So this is the Phil Khaki, man. And y'all, my time in Moyer Jewelers, man. Shout out to my man Donovan. Um, he did an amazing job. He didn't pressure me into this. He took me around the cases. He took me through the gauntlet of watches just to bring me back to this piece right here. And not that's when I saw it, I said, that's the one. I gotta have this watch. Now, what you see around here, this is a flag. This flag was actually flown over the base that I served. And I didn't buy this. This was earned. The same thing that people lost their lives over. This flag, this very flag, was flown over the base of Iraq that I served on. And I own it. It's mine. I fought for this. And the crazy thing is, you see this, these are items that I had when I was in Iraq. My dog tags, official. My wife gave me this prayer, and I wore this thing every day. Of course, it worked because I made it back. And this coin right here, challenge coin, was given to me by a sergeant major. There's a story behind it, and I will share it at one point in life, but this thing, I cherish this right here. But it goes back to this watch. And one thing a reviewer, and I'm not here really to just to review the watch. I will give you my, the pros and cons of having this watch, but just having this piece, knowing that there were men and women before me that went into battle, that lost their lives, that actually fought for this country, wore this right here. There's so much stuff wrapped up into the Hamilton name, but as far as this watch is concerned, let me go through some of it. So lug to lug, it's about 50 millimeters. This thing is about 9.9 millimeters thick. So it wears flat on the wrist. This is about, the crown is about six, I think like 6.5 millimeters. And you got a 42 millimeter case diameter sapphire crystal. The lume is pretty good on it. And this thing is hand wound, right? This is not your typical automatic. This is a hand wound piece, the H50. 80-hour power reserve. So it's like you can throw this thing down for a couple of days. But look how legible this watch is. And I'm sorry, y'all, but this thing to me, when I look at it, I just think about all that served before me that wore this watch. That's my attachment. That was one of the things that just hit me, man. When you look at the dial, and I know the camera can't pick up the beauty of this, I'm actually in natural light right now, but that matte black is so flat. It reminds me of a chalkboard back in grade school. And even how legible the numbers are. It reminds me of one of those clocks when you're ready for 3:30 to come so you can go home and watch G.I. Joe. Yeah, you get it. Look, like the military does it for me. Sandblasted case bracelet. Now, the one con I do have for this watch, micro adjust, only got two. It's only two micro adjusts. I was like, yo, I need at least one more. But other than that, it fits sort of loose on my wrist. So if I lose any more weight, hopefully by me taking out another link, it won't be too tight. But the beauty of this is a Hamilton. So if that is the case, I'll take this off and put on, you guessed it, throw a NATO on this thing. But, ladies and gentlemen, this watch right here, I kind of said it was a grail piece for me because this is like one of the most expensive pieces that I've ever purchased. It's Swiss made. This thing has so much history. But aside from the history that people know about, I have history with this watch. I've served and have been trained by some of the greatest people I still consider to be brothers in arms, even though I'm not in the military anymore. So this watch, it does it for me. I mean, definitely, the push here, matter of fact, let me put it on the wrist real quick. So that's it on the wrist. And I will say once you like the push pins, knock that out because I sized it myself. These are actually independent. I thought it was just a regular design. I thought that was just one link. These are actually independent, man. I thought that was pretty nice. It's a lot of, I mean, it's a simplistic watch, great loom. It's very sharp, very legible. It's a beautiful watch, man. Dare I say grail of mine? But this one, this is an heirloom. This is it. This means a lot to me. The fact that I own this and knowing that this is just a part of American history, man. Gosh, man. Man, I don't even know what else to say, man. This is it. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Um, of course, I mean, if you like Hamilton already, if you own this watch, you already know what it is. You know the vibes, right? As some would say. But man, this is like to me, man, this is like a must-have if you ever serve. And you don't necessarily have to get this one. I'll tell you what, the biggest thing about this watch, you guys know that I've collected a lot of Invicta timepieces and pieces after pieces after pieces. It was for fun. It was for a whole bunch of things, for cruises. This one is personal. This one is personal. And there's an actual, the Hamilton Khaki King. I saw that. That's another one that just really took me. There's another one I saw on Hamilton's website. It's coming soon. It has a date on it, and it almost looked like it may be a Valjoux movement. I'm not sure. Um, I have to look into it. But what I'm saying is, I'm so impressed by the watch to where I will make another purchase. And yes, this is not like, when you get to, I would say this is probably one of the cheapest outside of a Tissot, one of the cheapest Swiss made brands that you can get it to, right? But this is not me trying to promote Hamilton like I work for him. I'm just telling you my attachment to it. So you make that decision. If this is something that you think is fly for you to wear, go and get it. Man, dude, go and get the watch. This is a personal purchase for me, man. So therefore, I don't think it'd be fair for me to give you like this isn't a review. This I gave you like the pros and cons, but you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, pro, I love it. It is military inspired. It just solidifies and makes you want to salute the whole nine. The con was didn't have the micro adjust. And I failed to mention when you're winding this. You know what? I think I'm gonna do what they call it, ASMR. I'll let do one of those silent ones so all you can hear is the winding of the watch. It is so butter. Oh my gosh. Next level. This thing this thing is alive. This thing, y'all, I honestly can't believe I own it. This is crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy, man. So anyway, y'all, hope you enjoyed this premiere. You know what? I owe you some loom shots. So I'm not just gonna end it. Normally during premiere, you hit a lightning strike and stuff like that. But here's the deal. Y'all know my slogan. Until the next lightning strike, y'all be blessed. But get ready for the loom shots. It's some more military inspired stuff, man. Let's end the show right, man. Salute. Okay, I owe you guys a loom shot, right? And there you go. Now you see her? There you go. Your loom shot. It's beautiful. I'm satisfied, y'all. I really dig this watch. So, this is where I say, y'all, be blessed.